Anyway, hello everybody. As you can tell, out here in Colorado, we're waiting for some snow. I guess we're gonna get here probably by the time we get finished on this video. But today, excuse me, I have a cold too, so sorry. Today I'm gonna talk about this home right back here. This was back in 2016 I bought this, and it was one of the cheapest homes in the area at the time because of the I came across it and everything. And
What if
so
insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one
hold
team?
on.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser
What's going on
Permanente.
here? I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, somebody's buzzing me. Anyway, hopefully that went away. So anyway, I bought this as one of the cheapest homes in the area at the time. And it was an old home. This home's from the I think this one was built in 1959. And if you've watched some of the videos I cover, I always get into the older homes. And one thing unusual about this, I want to show everybody, which I'm going to give you a tour of the renovation we're doing on this. But back in the day, look at this brick. They called that weeping brick, I believe, with the mortar that's gushing out of the brick when they stacked it. So anyway, just something for you to take note of. But anyway, I've had people with their comments message me about showing some projects of mine. So today we're going to show you this home that I bought as a rental house. I had to put some money into it when I bought it. And I'm going to show you what I've had to do, show you what you got to look for when you're looking at homes, because it's very important. What we're going to do currently to this house, it's in process. You can probably hear him back there working, just to add value to this home and potential, additional rent by adding what we're doing here. So you want to stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's cover what you should look for when you're looking at homes. And like I said, this home was built in 1959. It's been around a long time, way longer than me, even though I'm a fossil. So when we bought this home was part of an estate sale, and the family was just done with the home. I actually knew the family, worked with them to help get the contents out that they could, and then I just took it as is. And it seemed like for every good thing that I had with this house, there were 3 or 4 bad things I found as far as things I had to do. And I'm just gonna show you when I walk up to a house, and you should do this if you're buying anything, is look at the gutters and the downspout extensions there. You always want to make sure those are away from the house. And out here in Colorado, especially in this area, the soils expand and swell. And I'm going to show you this home because it does have structural damage due to the soils out here. They expand. They're pretty hot out here. So if you're looking at a house to buy, especially in an area like Colorado, always look right away. You don't need a big high education to see if those are attached, and that'll tell you that may be a red flag for you to get this home looked at again. And also look at the roof. You can look at the shingles. If you can get up like this home and it's not a real tall roof, you can see how many layers are up there. This one I had to replace when I bought it, so there's only a layer. If you see more than 2 layers, that's a red flag. That roof probably hasn't been replaced if you're looking at a home to purchase. So that's another tip for you. Also, stand back and just look at the roof line and just see if it looks off. You'll notice sometimes if a home has sunk or something. I've seen it. So you'll really want to just take note of that. And yeah, that's first thing that I look at when I buy a home. Also look at the windows. I had to put windows in this house. It had the single panes in there. So I knew right away we were going to have to replace these. Hey, Chris, what's going on? You got any questions or anything out there, guys? Hope you're all doing good. Hopefully we'll give you something here. I'm still trying to figure all this out by doing this type of a live. So back in the days with these older homes, excuse me, my tenants just moved, so there's garbage here. Single car garage, you know, back in the days, they weren't like me. I'm a car guy. I've got some old cars, but this was always enough. You know, they didn't need 5, 6 stall garages like some people do nowadays. So this is kind of what you get with this style of home of this age. So anyway, we'll take you around back before we go inside, just to show you some other things here to look at. So over there, we are making an improvement to this house. And my guys over here, we're gonna start doing an egress window so we can add what's called a conforming bedroom. And you can keep working, Sergey. And anyway, we're just cutting this out so we can make room for the egress, which I'll show you inside. That's gonna definitely add value to this house. The new sliding doors are on here. So this home has all new windows and doors. And the one thing you want to look at too in these old homes is the electrical panels. Homes of this age, if you see those Federal Pacific or Zencor panels inside, those get called every time. And so this home, luckily for me, it was already updated, so I didn't have to do the panel. And anyway, so that's kind of a brief walk around on this home, kind of what I do. We'll take you inside and show you everything. But out here in Colorado, this is considered a pretty decent yard. When you buy older homes, and especially around the Denver area, you do get larger yards. You have an older home. If you want a newer home, you're going to get less yards. You're going to pay more money because you're close to the mountains. But fortunately for this home, it's in a location that's close to what we call Old Town Littleton. And so, yes, this is what you get in a 1959 home in Littleton, Colorado. So, another thing I want to point out to you, I know I told you about these extensions and so forth to keep the water away. I want to show you what happened to this house because of the water. If you look down here, can you see it? This is not good. This is what you don't want. Over the years of the person that owned this house before I bought it, water was coming down these gutters and just running down the foundation. And so this is dropping. This home has actually had some repairs, and I'll tell you more about it when we get inside. But the one thing you'll want to do if you own a home or you're looking at it or buying one is make sure the trees are away from the roof. Not only for the high insurance we have now, because insurance won't cover you. Also the leaves, as you can see, there's leaves up there. I got to get up there. I thought we had them all cleaned out. But those will plug and the water will come down your foundation, and that's not good. So you want the water as far away from the house as you possibly can to avoid any type of structural issues. See if we got any messages here. But anyway, we're gonna take you inside and we're gonna give you a tour now of what we're doing. But like I said, right here, we're starting to cut out the egress window so we can add some value to this home. Let me see if I can get in the back here. All right. So we're inside, obviously. We beat the snow anyway on the outside. So anyway, this home is a 1959 ranch home. I purchased this, like I said, in 2016. Did some creative financing on it. I got into this home with minimal money down, and how I did that, and you can do this still nowadays. I used to be a lender. I can walk you through it. I'm a licensed agent out here in Colorado, so I can talk to you about all sides if you need it. But anyway, when I bought this house, I got in with minimal money down because the sellers at the time carried almost the down payment that I needed as a silent second. I went out and took financing from the bank, or my old company I sold. I used to have a mortgage bank, like I said. And so really I got into this house with minimal money down, but it needed work. So that's how I acquired this. And when I bought this, this home needed windows. The wood floors, they're still in pretty good shape. These are the original wood floors. And I know we all talk about the LVP, and even in my videos, I'll talk about it. But in this home, I couldn't cover these floors up because they are in such good shape. And I've had tenants in here for about 10 years and they're still in good shape. So anyway, but does anybody know what this is? So again, back to the older homes in the 50s and 60s, and this was added, but they did have this. This is called a pass-through window in the kitchen. And so the kitchen was walled off, as you can see, but it still had this opening. And then this right here that you see was the dining room. There's the little, I guess they put their dishes in here and stuff, I suppose. But it's not very big. Check this out. This is how they lived. But anyway, this house actually, this was the doorway to the kitchen, dining room, and it had a third bedroom that I didn't take out. Somebody did to make this home a little larger. So there's only 2 bedrooms up here, which you always want more. I wish we had 3, but that's, I'll show you later in the basement. So anyway, this is how a 1959 ranch here was built. Anyway, some of the other improvements that we had to do was the bathroom. Obviously, they didn't tile like that back in the day. It doesn't have the cool pink, yellow, green tiles that we normally see. We are gonna retile the floor. I like my rental properties in good shape. And so I think it just helps with the tenants and everything, especially nowadays with as expensive as stuff is. So we're gonna redo this. This is one of the bedrooms, and they had just moved out, but they left this place in pretty good shape. The closet door just has paint peeling off, but again, the new windows, the original wood floors are still nice in here. I know we always debate those floors on some of the videos, but there's no vinyl plank on this one. This is the primary. And I know we always talk about LED lights. I can say that one's 4 years old and it already isn't working. So I wouldn't recommend that light if you're watching. But this is the primary. It only has one bathroom up here, which is the style of these homes back in the day. But the one cool feature, if you're into it, if you want a wood burning fireplace, this has it. Because it's a rental, I'm gonna take this out. It's too much of a liability. It's already capped up there. We're just gonna pull this off and paint it up and make it look nice. We're gonna redo all this, so stay tuned. But a lot of people like to put gas log in those or whatever. And just so you know, out here in Colorado, if you do that, you lose the real wood burning fireplace forever. They won't obviously let you do it anymore. So anyway, let me show you what we got going on in the kitchen here. So here is that pass-through window I was telling you about. And we've already started taking the cabinets out, as you can see. So this kitchen is a little smaller than probably what a lot of people are used to. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this wall and then this wall. And I don't know how far we're gonna go yet here. So that way it's still an open feel. We'll keep a lot of the cabinetry because of how we're gonna have it set up. This cutout was already there, so we didn't do that. We're gonna take that out, but you have to keep a sister wall up here so the new cabinets can go in. But anyway, that's what we're doing with the kitchen here in this property. So get the new tenants that rent this place some new cabinets, and like I said, we'll open that up. Anyway, let's go downstairs. How's everybody doing out there? Anybody else getting snow like we're gonna get? Anyway, this basement is finished, thank goodness. There used to be a wet bar over there, but I took that out. We just kept the cabinet there, but again, for a rental, we didn't want the wet bar in there. And you always hear me talk about sewer scopes, and as you can see right there, that concrete, what we had going on there is we did a sewer scope because the kitchen line kept plugging back up. It's over here. We had to replace the cast iron. I believe it was cast iron under here. And if you look here, I'll show you. There's a concrete little footer here that goes along the house, which is a little unusual if you're used to more modern homes. Anyway, that dropped and it crushed the sewer pipe. So we had to dig this out, repair it. I think we had to even go out into this room. So home ownership. Now here, if you saw my guy outside working, we're gonna take this window and we're gonna egress this. And what egress means is we're gonna make a living area for a bedroom, and then we're gonna put seeing them the bedroom. But it works out perfect. We have all the electrical ductwork right here. We have a vent there, but my friend fortunately is an HVAC guy, and we can heat the room obviously and cool it. So anyway, that's what we're doing here to help with this room. Now I want to show you the structural stuff I was talking about earlier. This home had structural damage when I bought it, and the previous owner repaired it. The company that did it, they didn't do a very good job, and I'll tell you what happened here if you stick with me here in a minute. But if you notice this crack here going along this wall, and then it goes along here all the way, you can see it right here. So you can see maybe you can, it's probably hard, the lighting's not. There's a crack coming, maybe you can see it. Let me try my flashlight for you guys. So maybe the light, let's see, yeah, you can see the crack there. So anyway, those aren't good. So that needs carbon fiber. I've already had my structural guy come and look at this so we know what kind of repairs we have to do. And this area is prone for the water damage, unfortunately. And this home actually has had some repair. There's a sump pump there to pump the water out. But yeah, that wasn't good, to say the least. And when I told you that the repairs hadn't been done right, I'm here in the third bedroom, which is down here on the lower level. And here is the egress window, what we're gonna put in the other room. So this was done before I bought the house, but you can see the ladder over there. This window opens up so somebody can get out if they need to. And that's what we're doing in the other room. But anyway, when the last tenants moved out, we had some water come down into the house, so we cut the drywall and found out that whoever did these repairs, and these are things you have to take into consideration and do your homework on if you know that there's water in the area that can cause foundation issues. Like I told you, the gutters, the downspout, the extensions and so forth. If those aren't on, you really want to look at the internal walls, but these were covered and I knew they had put soil anchors in this house at one time. So we cut this wall wondering where the water was coming from and found out there was huge cracks all over this wall. And so the repairs weren't done the way that the company for the other owner of this house thought they were done. So I had to bring my structural guy in here, and we had to carbon fiber these walls so we could reinforce them and also keep the water out. We're also going to put a French drain around because this area, it has a lot of water that settles around here. So keep that in mind. Again, any place that you have water issues, if you don't feel like the slope and everything's any good, you're going to want to research some more. I think you can even see the carpet down here where we had to pull that off to fix that wall. And if you have a rental property, the very first thing I think is so important to tell your tenants, I do this right away, is show them where the water shutoff is. And the reason for that, I know some of you may think it's obvious, but if there's a water leak somewhere and your tenants, they don't know how to take care of it, well, if you show them where the shutoff is, then they'll be able to come down, turn the water off, and at least help with the situation on whatever's going on. So this is off right now. This home's vacant while we're working on it, and nothing freaks me out more than water, especially in the cold temperatures that we're going to have. So anyway, that's an important thing. If you're thinking of having a rental property, make sure you always let the tenants know where the shutoff is. And then the next thing you need to do, and stay on top of this is very important. I have the smoke detector, carbon monoxide combination all over this house, and I check those every 6 months or so. You can write the dates on there. If you have battery operated, make sure you just go replace the batteries. We have actually had ours go off one time, and they saved us. We thought it was just a bad battery, but if you have tenants, you have a rental property, you got to make sure all these are in the sleeping areas. Very, very important. So check those. You never can check those too many times. And now the other thing we have down here that I didn't have to do when I bought this, there was another bathroom down here. And with these older houses, the ventilation can be a little bit of a problem. This one actually has a vent in it where it goes outside. So I've checked it. It is hooked up properly. Upstairs though, you'll notice those older bathrooms, if they have a window in them, usually that's just considered ventilation, but it's always a good idea if you have the right connections to put up those vent fans if possible, because like I said, these homes, the low ceilings and all that, they just attract that moisture and stuff. So anyway, the other thing I told you, we saw the electrical box. Sometimes you got to deal with aluminum wiring. This home didn't have it, but you really want to know what to look for when you're looking at older homes. And if you're unsure, you need to hire an agent that can help you look for that. And again, if you need a connection in the Colorado, you can call me or anybody, obviously, or if you're wherever you're at, I have good connections around that I can set you up with. But just make sure that if the home's older, that you know that you may need to check for aluminum wiring. So especially if you're going to make this thing a rental like this house is. Now, the one thing I always talk about raising the value or rents or how you can improve it to get better rents. This home is set up where you could wall off this area, the garage, and then you could put a kitchenette down in the basement. And basically you could make this a duplex. And a lot of the homes out here in these older areas, they do have over-under duplexes. So this home would actually work well for that if somebody were wanting to do it. But I'm not going to do it. We're adding that egress window, like I said, and we're gonna go with that and make it a 4-bed, 2-bath home. And anyway, let's see. Yeah, the bathroom in this house, since I like nicing, we're gonna redo. I think I told you the tile in here. Probably change the vanity out. You can see in the older homes too, the tubs are smaller. This one I think has been changed because it's not one of the cool colors of the pink, yellows, and all that. But that tub's pretty small. It's old. We may just take this tile out and put a more updated, functional tub in here. So anyway, but yeah, that's kind of a walkthrough of what we are doing with this home as far as improvements to get it back on the market to rent. And paint colors, it's always good to go in, paint the walls if you have the right connections. This house, it doesn't really need it. And yes, it has the gray on it. This isn't really the gray looking stuff, even though it looks that way on this video. But that is another good return on investment that you can do, just like flooring. Flooring and paint are the best return on investments that you can do. And, when you're, again, looking at a house like this to buy in an older area, because there's no HOAs, you got to remember, as you can see behind me, the camper there, walk the street, look around, come around at different times of the days and just see what's going on in the area. And you'll get a good feel for what the neighborhood is going to be like. And not sure how you look at it as far as rental goes, but like this home, it's in a great area of Littleton. So this home is a good appreciation play, as well as the rent, the cash flow on it. It's hard to get properties like that nowadays, just because of how expensive things are, interest rates. But like I said earlier, if you can find a deal like this that I found, that was an estate sale, and you can get somebody to carry the note or the down payment, and then you have to come up with, you know, a little bit of money and just get into it, and hopefully the rates go down. That's a way to do it. Another way that you all could get into the rental market is take advantage of the FHA 3.5% down on a duplex, triplex, quadplex. As long as you're living in one unit of those quadplex or a triplex or duplex, you can count that as owner occupied, and FHA will give you the loan. And so what you do is you move into it, you become a landlord, and you manage rents, and you learn how to do everything. And then, say in a year or so, you can turn around. And again, you have to be careful the time frame of when you move out to rent your share, because you don't want the lender to think that you are trying to buy it as a rental and you just told them you were going to move into it and you didn't. From my lending experience, you do not want to mess with any loan at all. They'll come after you, and they have their ways of detecting fraud. But after at least a year, you know, I call it passing the smell test. Then you can move out, go find another property, do the same thing. One of my friends out here, his kid's getting out of college, and that's what he's doing. He actually just is looking at buying a duplex right now, going to do that. He's going to move into one side, rent the other side out, learn the ins and outs of managing properties, and his goal is to continue on from that and get a bunch of properties. So anyway, like I said, this deal I got in 2016 has paid off. There was a lot of things I've had to do with the house, just with any house, and especially these older homes. You're always going to be doing something. But if you buy it right, you have the right connections and so forth, you're going to be fine. And again, if you have questions about how to handle rental properties, find them. Maybe you're a cap rate person. Maybe you're cash on cash. You know, reach out. I'd love to talk to you about that. And hopefully you got something out of this. Like I said, you'll want to stay tuned for what we're doing in there for the renovation. And my link is on my channel and on this post. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I also have professionals out in your area that I can set you up with. And also, if you're looking for good deals like I got on this, even though I got this at an estate sale, I do have a link to page foreclosure.com. You can find some good deals on there. So click on that, set yourself up on a search in your area. And anyway, yeah, that's my pitch on that, just to help you try to find some deals. But anyway, I guess hopefully that was informational for you. And again, if you thought this helped anybody, please share it. Also give me some likes and subscribe and all that. I'm a new channel, and like I said, this live on doing this live at a project's been a little different thing. But anyway, we got through it for the most part, and it's not snowing. So anyway, I'm David Novak, and I'm a licensed agent out here in Littleton, Colorado. So if you have any questions here or anywhere across the country, I'd love to talk to you sometime. And until next time, stay tuned. We'll have some more of these coming up, and have a good rest of your day.